Hey guys, it's Steve here, singledadfitdad.com. Thanks for watching. Today I want to share some mistakes that men are making, men over 40 are making when it comes to getting fit and healthy. Okay, I know I don't have to tell you, it's probably more of a struggle now to stay in shape than it was 20 years ago. But here's what I'm going to tell you first off. It's not any more difficult to get fit now, I'm 44, as it was for me 20 years ago. It's that the difference is it's just easier for us now that we're older to get fat. It's easier to be more inflexible. It's easier to get demotivated. It's easier to get more stressed out than it was all those years ago. So it's not that it's more difficult to get fit now. It's just easier to have all these other negative things impact us. Okay, and I can tell you firsthand. I mean, I'll be honest. It's not any harder now. Sure, there are some things that change, but it's just an excuse. So I'm going to run through 5 things that I feel are mistakes that you're making when it comes to getting fit. Okay, and again, this is specifically for guys that are getting a little bit older, right? Middle age, late 30s, 40s, even into their 50s. Okay, first is using your age as an excuse. Okay, it's so easy to say, "Oh man, I'm just too old for this shit," or "My body's falling apart. I'm too old. I can't handle this." Again, it's all in your mind. Yes, physiologically things change, but not to the extent which you think. It's not that much different than it was 10 years ago for you. So get that mental block out of your head because it is holding you back. Okay? Not changing it up. This is when this comes to changing up your program, your routine, mixing it up, using different exercises, different types of training. It's really easy to get sucked into a mindset of the 3x8, protocol, or sticking to a handful of different exercises that you're used to. And as you get older, it's easier to fall into those habits. So it's really, really important to switch things up. I like to switch up my workouts every 4 to 6 weeks. Maybe that's a little bit overkill for you. You may want to switch it up, maybe 8 or 10 weeks, but it's very important that you change things up. Okay, letting your experience work against you. When I wrote this, I thought of that scene in Titanic, the movie Titanic, where they said one of the reasons why the ship crashed was because the captain of the boat had all those years of experience working against him, so he couldn't change his mindset and ended up, doing the wrong thing. And so anyway, similar to that, in that, you've been training maybe for the last 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, or longer, off and on. You've learned a bunch of things. You think maybe this is the best way to do this, or I've read about this so many times that it must be true. When it comes to that, just keep your mind open. I'm not saying I have all the answers. I certainly don't. But do your research, do your homework, and constantly educate yourself when it comes to your health and fitness. Okay? Not focusing on the basics. Again, this is huge. I beat this to death, but it's really, really, really important, especially for guys up in their 40s and beyond. Okay, 7 to 8 hours of sleep, mandatory. Okay, half a gallon plus of water a day, mandatory. Reducing your stress as much as humanly possible, mandatory. Okay, we need to focus on the basics of eating good, high quality foods, eating enough foods, and I would say taking a multivitamin is also something that's very important as well. So just those very, very simple things make it a part of your life. Okay, forget about all the fancy supplements, all the programming, HIIT sessions, all that other shit. Focus on those basics first. It'll make a big, big difference. And then last, not training with your age in mind. Okay, and like I said in the beginning of this video, there's not that much of a difference, but there is some difference. Okay, we spend the last 10, 15, 20, 25 years sitting, commuting. A lot of us, including myself, sat for over a decade sitting at a desk, hunched over a computer, right? That causes all sorts of problems with your mobility and your posture, and it affects pretty much everything in your body. So keep those things in mind. You can't hit it like you hit it 20 years ago. I train hard, but I train hard for a 44-year-old. Okay, I don't have any false notions that I'm going to be able to go crazy like these 22-year-old kids I see at the gym that are doing all kinds of crazy shit. I've tried some of that, and I can tell you, I can tell the difference. And when I got hurt last year, I was probably exceeding, my capabilities. Pulled something in my lower abdomen, and I was out for, I think, 4 months because of it. So keep that in mind. You can train hard. There's no reason you can't train hard, but train at your level, out of scale 1 to 10, your level 9 or 10, not the guy down the road or the young guy next to you. So keep that in mind. Again, just some basic ideas to keep in mind when you're training. Hopefully this helps, and I'd love to hear a comment below this video, and I'll talk to you guys soon.